Last night, I was pleased to call Maxwell Frost, a 25-year-old who got elected, I guess the youngest man ever elected to the United States Congress. I have no doubt he's off to an incredible start and what I'm sure will be a long, distinguished career.
Maxwell Frost made his national television debut as a congressional candidate on our program. At age 22, he became the national organizing director for the gun violence prevention group March for Our Lives. Now, at the age of 25, Maxwell Frost, when he is sworn in on January 3rd, will become the youngest member of Congress. Joining us now is Representative-elect Maxwell Frost of Florida. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. This really is a special feeling for me, certainly, to have you joining us now when I'm looking back at when you first joined us. What was it like when you picked up the phone and there was Joe Biden?
Well, thanks for having me on tonight. An incredible feeling. I remember I was in the middle of having a conversation, saw 202 area code answer, and I heard someone say, "Please hold for the president." Put it on speaker, and everyone in the room and I started doing some silent jumping and cheering. So it was an incredible experience, especially to hear from him and hear him talking about the fact that he was elected to the Senate at 29, so he knows what it's like to be the youngest person in the room.
So basically your first phone call as a representative-elect, first phone call for part of the governing body of Washington is from the president. Did you feel at the end of that phone call that you are part of this team that Joe Biden is the leader of?
I did. And, you know, I've gotten calls from not just the president, but folks all across the spectrum of Congress in our caucus. And I've really felt a part of the team even before the election was called. Many members reaching out to me, offering advice, offering different ways to help out. And so I know I'm not going in alone, and I'm really excited to serve my community in Congress.
Now, how many of the current members of Congress are smart enough to be asking you for advice?
Well, I've had some people ask me for advice on how to get out the youth vote and really looking at how do we get young people excited about voting. And I think a lot of folks use that advice. As we see, we had record turnout yesterday with the young voters across the country, and that's really exciting to me. And we're going to continue to see that trend go up over the coming years. Yeah,
on the age demographics, the 18 to 29 group, 63%. Voted Democrat. That was the highest vote for Democrat in any age group that we've seen. And so it seems to me that when you get to Washington and before that, everybody there in the party should be talking to you about that 18 to 29 vote and how to get it.
Yeah, I mean, what I found when I worked at March for Our Lives is young people really want something to vote for and not against. So my advice was always telling folks, talk about the world that you want to build and the world that's going to be better for future generations. It's talking about canceling student debt, combating the climate crisis, ending gun violence, and building a world that works for every single person. And when you do that, you don't really have to persuade someone to vote. You just got to remind them when Election Day is.
So what is your top priority in your first year in Congress?
There's so much we have to tackle. The economy is top of mind for me. We had just had a devastating Hurricane Ian in Orlando, Florida, and in Florida, which left people with nothing. They're outside of their homes. They don't have anything anymore. We have stagnant wages. We need to ensure that we bring up wages. We need to make sure that our people have health care and that they have the ability to be healthy and that they have the resources to tap into the opportunity that this country has. So I'm really thinking about the economy and how we can make it work for every single person.
And going forward, as you move into next year, are there committee assignments that you're thinking about already that would be important to you?
Yeah, we're thinking through what makes sense. But at the end of the day, I really want to be put where I can best serve my community and best serve Central Florida. And so we'll see what that ends up being. But I know wherever it is, I'm going to be working hard for the people of District 10 and for the people of Florida.
Well, I know the viewers of the 10 p.m. hour on this network feel like they've been on this journey with you from the start of the campaign. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Representative-elect Maxwell Frost, really appreciate you being here.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me on.
Bye.